What's up, guys? This is John from JohnKill3D Gaming, and all I gotta say is, wow. What a little experience I am having with this game. Wolfenstein, it should be no surprise among my friends that I love Wolfenstein. Without Wolfenstein, we wouldn't have the FPSs of the day, and it's very rare when you have a first-person shooter that goes back to the classic first-person shooter format. You know, very straightforward, run and gun, blow shit up. And that's what Wolfenstein the New Order did. It took Wolfenstein of the past and brought it to the modern gaming. But how does Wolfenstein the Old Blood, the prequel story, and which was its own spin-off game, it's its own separate game, so to speak. I'm going to show you the gameplay features, such as here goes your difficulties. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 difficulties. I played through each one. Actually, fuck that. I don't even play these two. I play from Bring 'Em On Down, which I'm going to be doing Death Incarnate next. There's 8 chapters in total with this game that you come with, and the chapters are pretty long in itself. I mean, wow, they have a lot of stuff here to go. That's the same castle, believe it or not. Fun fact, this is the same castle they recreated from the original Wolfenstein. So that's a fun fact for people who need to know this. You know, you have your simple gameplay options, so you can tweak the settings to your liking. There's challenges. As you complete the game, you can unlock challenges to go back and do. So if you are a completionist, you could go and look this through. You have your collectibles throughout each chapters. You know, this is for completionist type people. You can find letters, character arts, so on. Statistics, your ranks. It'll tell you how many times you died, how many stealth kills, how many weapons you killed with that particular item. You know, basically everything you need to know. So as I go further with this review, this review is going to be very different. It's going to be a first where I'm going to transition. This video will transition into new parts of the video to explain every single part thoroughly instead of in an all-in-one thing, so I can spend my time talking about one particular subject at a time. So the next subject we're going to get into its gameplay feature. We're going to get into the meat of the Wolfenstein game itself, and this is the gameplay. Gameplay consists of, surprisingly, it's more stealth heavy than just action-oriented blaster fire. But don't get me wrong, the oriented blaster fire comes into heavy play. Now, my favorite thing about this is that the stealth kills are better. Everything is much more fluent, especially with his new lead pipe instead of it being a knife. There's a couple of new weapons, but not very much. I mean, you still use the standard weapons, but they're all good in itself. You can still go around picking up ammunition in very close quarter combat the way it was in the New Order. But this time you could go further, and this time everything is much more. The game, no matter what difficulty you're playing on, surprisingly, it is still pretty challenging and tough. Enemies can hear you much quicker. You really need to think about a situation before you get into it, especially with the big enemy types such as that big brawler machine gunnery bastard. And you need to find the sort of commanders or lieutenants to break their signal before they call for reinforcement. Now, the only thing is I can't stealth kill this guy with a pistol because I do not have one. But yes, you can go on and execute people, and you can approach these levels in the way you want to. You just don't have to straight run and gun. But for the Wolfenstein faithful, they just prefer to straight up start doing this right here, which this is not a problem. This makes the game very fun. But I am a stealth type of guy. I prefer to go in stealth, guns ablazing, depending on the situation. As you can see, this situation did not call for it. And this is inside the Castle Wolfenstein, and what I think about it is I'm glad that they decided to do this standalone prequel game. But what I must say, and I appreciate it heavily, is that it's not just a cash grab game. The graphics are equal to that of the New Order. A lot of people for some reason said the graphics didn't look as great. I don't have a problem with the graphics. It reminds me of a classical shooter. It doesn't need to look fancy. It doesn't need to look over the top. As long as the game is fun and great for me, it is a must-buy for me. And for $20, this is a really good deal. So let's keep going here. Right now, enemies are very alerted to my presence, and as you can see, the gameplay is very fast, fluent, and efficient, especially in its gunplay. It's not stiff, it's not laggy, it's none of that. Trying to beat this guy upside his damn head. You can slide and fire, or you can fire, you know, standing up. There's a lot of segments where you need to, I need that pistol. There's a lot of environmental damage you can do, but unfortunately there's no enemy around, and I ran out of ammo to do environmental damage. Now, that is what the gameplay is like in itself. It's very fast, it's very fluent, and it's very great, especially for any person, any shooter, any newcomers, vets. You're more than welcome to jump in onto this game. That's all I gotta say about this. The gameplay, in my perspective, it's very top-notch, very worthy of any first-person shooter and any first-person shooter fan. Now I'm gonna get into talking about the story. I'm not gonna spoil a lot of the story. Just know that it does take place before Wolfenstein, the New Order. So I've been getting confused calling it New Blood or Old Blood, that type of yada yada. But this game does take place before the New Order. And for a standalone story, it is great. The presentation in the cutscenes are very well done, very well voice acted. If you're familiar with BJ Blazkowicz, he is the guy. Just like you guys call Doom Guy, I call this guy Wolf Guy. So the story leads into some events, believe it or not, and surprises that I do not want to spoil, but it's very hard to. All I gotta say is, if you have 20 bucks, please sit through this game. Please give it a chance, because the story in my grade, I give the story an 8.5. It's not the most perfect story, but hell, it's something to sit through and just give yourself a good 4 to 5 hours, depending on what difficulty it is. Because if you're playing on the middle difficulty, 4 hours. Higher difficulty, 10, 12 to 15. That's basically what it's going to be. I know I said I wouldn't spoil the surprises of this game, but I can't help it. This is the best surprise right here. What is a Wolfenstein game without Nazi zombies? I mean, come on. Everyone, you know you love Nazi zombies. But that's just part 1 of 2 that this game holds with surprises. And we're going to get into that next surprise. But all I gotta say is, zombies were a welcome addition to me for this, because they weren't in the first one. But the fact that they're here just gives me that feeling, because I really do, ever since Black Ops, World at War with Nazi zombies and all this type of stuff, this little bonus that they put in regards to this, I just enjoy it. I enjoy going around slaughtering the undead, and they're actually pivotal to the story. They're not just tacked on. They actually play an important role to what's coming, to what comes to a point in the game, and I will not tell you what point, but this is an important part you need to pay attention to. Unfortunately, I don't have my guns on me to do traditional damage, but yes, the Nazi zombies, for the first time ever, play a very pivotal role in a story, and I never thought that they would. I mean, Call of Duty has its so-called zombie story in Easter eggs, but this isn't the case with this. It fits in the game that it needs to be. So Nazi zombies, you are a welcome addition and a plus that makes my game score the point it is for this. So all I gotta say is, look forward for this in the game too. Nazi zombies, the best. And then for the best and most final part, yep, as anyone would have guessed it, Wolfenstein Classic, back in its game. Except there's a major difference. This one's pivotal to the game. It's not just slapped on, this one's better. The only thing I miss is Cyber Hitler. That's the only thing I miss, is Cyber Hitler boss. Where the hell is he? This is the best damn thing I've seen in a video game in a long time. Best Easter egg by far. Well, other than the Doom reference that's in one part of the game, but play it, find out. But that's everything. That's everything. Play Wolfenstein the New Order. Or not the New... Well, yeah, play the New Order. Play First Blood. If you don't, I'm gonna come to your house dressed as a fucking Nazi and rip your goddamn throat out, you black. I don't know how to fucking speak their dirty ass language. Kiss my fucking ass. So, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, get it now. And if you're Jewish, you're probably gonna hate it. So, not for you. Yay!